will be crossing to our reporter Mbali Thethani, as the City of Johannesburg is expected to elect the new mayor this morning in a special council meeting. It follows the death of the late Joburg Mayor Geoff Makhubo, who died from COVID-19 complications last month. The ANC in Greater Johannesburg has endorsed MMC for Finance Jolidee Matongo as its preferred candidate after undergoing a rigorous selection process within the ANC. For more on the story, I'm joined by Mbali Thethani. Mbali Thethani, a very good morning to you. A rigorous process was taking place behind the scenes before this name was put forward. What's happening there?
That's right, Mpho, and that's what we've been told by the ANC in the City of Johannesburg. And we know that when this selection was done by the ANC, it was also taken to Lituli House. And of course, we've heard from the likes of Jesse Duarte when it comes to the selection process of its councillors and its representatives. But of course, this morning, we know that last month, Geoff Makhubo, the late Geoff Makhubo, passed away from COVID-19 complications. And he was only Joburg Mayor for just well over a year, and this is following after the ANC took over the city from the DA. And of course, you'd remember that there was that coalition with the DA and the likes of that agreement with the EFF as well, and that fell apart in Paul. And then we now know when it comes to the ANC in the City of Johannesburg, they have at least 124 seats in council. They don't have an outright majority, so they'll also be relying on some of those coalition partners to vote with them this morning when they are expected to, elect a new mayor. We know that they had a coalition with the likes of the AIC, UDM, Al-Jamar, COPE as well. And also, with the help of those parties and the likes of the IFP, they are hoping that they will be able to retain the city. We know that they have selected Jolidee Matongo, who is, of course, the MMC for Finance. And you'd remember that even the late Geoff Makhubo had a background when it came to the City of Johannesburg of Finance. We know that Jolidee Matongo has been with the city for well over a decade, Mpho. And of course, he was also an advisor for that portfolio, for the finance portfolio under the City of Johannesburg. And he's done extensive work not only just in the City of Johannesburg, but also in Gauteng. So we know that he has also, as much as he has been endorsed by the City of Johannesburg, or rather the ANC in the City of Johannesburg, he has also been endorsed by the ANC's top six. But where we are at the moment, Mpho, we are in the Chief Whip's office in the council chambers, and the ANC is expected to put on the record officially who they have selected as somebody who they would want to represent the city and to take over the reins from the late Geoff Makhubo.
Let's talk a little bit now about what lies ahead for Matongo following this announcement, and of course what he'll be tasked with doing when it comes to completing what's left of this term of office.
Well, of course, Mpho, it is quite a tricky terrain right now at the moment. We know that there is that issue around the local government elections. And of course, we are expecting those local government elections to take place on the 27th of October. And this, of course, has been proclaimed by the Minister, of course, of COCTA, Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma. But we also know while that takes place, it's still not clear as to whether those elections will indeed take place, because we know the IEC has approached the Constitutional Court asking it to postpone the local government elections, Mpho. And of course, we know that these elections, following that Museneke inquiry, they have proposed 4 elections to take place before the end of February 2022. So, when he comes into the office now, he comes in when you're looking at the programs that the ANC, of course, this is something that these specific programs are under the former Mayor Geoff Makhubo. He is expected to spear those ahead just before the country goes to those local government elections. And of course, looking at issues around that, we know Geoff Makhubo, one thing in particular that he did promote in the city, He was somebody who focused a lot on youth development. So this is something that, as well, with Jolidee Matongo's background when it comes to the ANC Youth League, this is something that he will continue to spearhead, and other developments when it comes to housing in the city. We know that's something that a number of other political parties have stressed about. We know that when you look at the likes of the programs that he also outlined last year during his speech, this is something that Jolidee Matongo will have to continue to spearhead.
Very well. Let's leave it there for now. Mbali Thethani bringing us up to speed ahead of the ANC's briefing this morning.